In celebration of Black History Month, Juvia's Place is highlighting the growth and social impact of the Black beauty industry while also celebrating the accomplishments of so many Black women. Juvia's Place is a brand that highlights diversity and beauty of all shades, but of course for Black History Month, we're going to throw a spotlight on Black beauty with a series of conversations with me, Claire Sulmers, and entertainers, influencers, and entrepreneurs. So we are here with beautiful Remy Ma.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine.
We are at Juvia's Place,
Yes.
a bomb beauty company that celebrates beauty of all shades, but for Black History Month, we're going to focus on Black beauty.
Which is my favorite.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a little biased. Sorry, guys.
Yes. So you have a song, Brown Skin. You're all about melanin magic. So what does Black beauty mean to you?
I feel like the Black skin or the brown skin of women of color, it's so diverse. It's such a large spectrum. It goes from one end, all the way to the end, and there's all these wonderful in-betweens. And like you could take one person, like you take me right now, you see me in the middle of June or July, and I'm gonna be a totally different shade going on there. And I think it's so much fun to play with, especially when it comes to makeup. You can just do so much with it. As far as the highlight and the bronzer and the different colors, I just love it. I wouldn't want to be anything but brown. Sorry, guys.
Have you always felt and or known that you're beautiful?
I feel like that's a trick question, because if I say no, then people are like, oh, she's right. Or if I say yeah, they're like, yeah, really? Like she's gonna. But I've never, I'm gonna be honest, I've never ever been called ugly until I became famous.
Huh.
Like literally my whole life, like growing up, I was like, she's so cute, and like, I was very popular before I was, famous, and I never had ever heard those words directed at me. And when the celebrity came into it, and even more so in recent years with the emergence of social media, it's become a thing to where I had to question myself sometimes, like, wait a minute, am I one of those people? Because I've always seen people that I personally thought was ugly and they thought they were cute. I'm like, wait a minute, am I one of those people that are ugly and I don't know that I'm ugly? But I feel like, I would get the gorilla emojis underneath my pictures.
What?
Or the to be dark skinned, she's alright, or the red lipstick thing. I don't think dark skinned girls look good. And I'm like, I've never ever heard that until all of this happened in my life. But thankfully, I'm strong-minded enough, and I have a really great support system. Like my husband, he's one of those people who's like, are you dumb? He'll tell me, I'm gonna use your words. Are you dumb? Like, people are just talking because they have lips. I think that social media and just the social world period, as far as what we see in movies, on television and magazines, and what is perceived as beauty, for some reason, for a long time, it's been projected in a way to make women of darker skin tones feel less than beautiful.
So what inspired you to create the brown skin
The
song?
record, Melanin Magic. Just that whole theory and that whole thought, that if you're darker, that you're not as pretty, or you have to be super above and beyond, or you have to be some type of exotic. Like, I've seen people that I've known my whole life, grew up in the Bronx or grew up in Queens, wherever I know them from, and then you look in their bio and they have all these different nationalities that they are all of suddenly, because they feel like that makes them exotic than just being, a regular brown girl, black girl from wherever that they're from. But it came before that. Like, one of my first records that I ever did was Conceited.
Yeah.
And that was me facing the same adversities that I felt like I've always had to deal with since I came into the industry, with feeling like when you're just of a darker tone, you're not as pretty or not as beautiful, or you should bow down to someone or feel like someone that looks different than you is more superior.
Right.
And I've never felt like that. I've always been the one that was championing for people that look like me. All the women that I've ever grew up with and grew up around and believed in and looked up to, they were all brown like me or darker than me.
Right.
And some of the most beautiful women that I know are of darker skin complexion.
Okay.
And we would have issues like finding makeup that matched our skin tones or that complemented us, because you would go into these stores and couldn't find it. It's not until recent years that you had companies like a Juvia's or, you know, that not just catered to you, like okay, here's a couple of colors like that, but it made sure it had everything for each person in that spectrum.
Right.
And I love it.
Yeah, and I love that you have a great support system. Like you and Pap are like, I love the whole Black love movement.
Thank you.
I just love everything that you guys.
That's another thing
represent.
that I feel that we have to protect and we have to uplift, because just the relationship as Black people, we have been accustomed and we've been somewhat programmed to think that it's normal to come from a broken home.
Right.
It's normal to not have a mother and a father who are not married. It's normal to not get married. The first wedding that I've ever been to was my own. I'd never been to a wedding. I'd never been in a wedding.
Right.
And just by our union and the way that we move with our relationship, we've encouraged many of our friends to do it. I've been to so many weddings since. Like, I can't even tell you how many weddings that I've been in, helped throw, and everything else. Like, I've been to millions of baby showers, but I had never did weddings.
Right.
And I feel like we help inspire that, not just amongst our friends in our media circle, but to the masses. And I also feel like it's something that it's real. It's attainable.
Right.
We've been programmed to think that it can't happen. Like, oh, I'll never find a good man. I'll never find a man that won't cheat. I'll never find a man that's going to marry me.
Yeah.
And Black men want to get married. Black women want to get married. Black couples are real. They're a thing that happens. And I've seen so many strong couples growing up in my life not married. That's another step that we decided to take together. But even with our children, we instill that into my daughter, my son, my stepchildren, and my siblings, anybody. Like, I feel like it's something that we need to instill into our families to try to regain that family structure back.
Right.
That's been broken down with slavery and then prison systems and all the other things that they've, infiltrated our community with throughout the years and centuries.
Yeah, it's time for us to break down all those stereotypes.
Absolutely.
In so many levels. And I think, the makeup and wearing the bright colors. Do you wear a lot of bright colors when it comes to makeup?
I do. I just was getting my makeup done yesterday and they had it all mapped out. And it's like, yeah, we're going to just do nudes and golds. I'm like, how about some blue and some purple? I'll do orange or pink. And I feel like that's one of the things that we're just getting into. It's kind of like when you've been probably overweight, and even when you lose weight, you're kind of drawn to wearing black, because in your mind you're like, if I wear black, it's going to make me look slimmer. It's going to make me look like, no. I want to accentuate my eyes. I want to highlight, my full lips and my cheekbones and all these other things. So, bring on the color by any means necessary.